Hello, my name is John Morris. I'm a EACH candidate for EACH. I'm a single father, 3 kids. I started out homeless, without nothing. I was going through some errors in my life and just couldn't ever get ahead or get on top of something. And I was an alcoholic, struggling, trying to just get by and numb the pain. And my daughter, man, out of all people, she brought me back to realize that there's more to life than drinking. And she was right. I was killing myself slowly. And one day I just got in the car and I was drunk and I was driving down the road and I just asked God why, why is my life like this? And next thing I know, I had this warm feeling come over my body and all that hurt, anger and pain went away. And it was the Lord talking to me. He told me I had amazing kids and that I needed to be there for them. And that I needed to accept His Son because that was the only way in. And at that point, I had to pull over. I was scared. I really felt this. I heard this. I pulled the truck over and I sat on the side of the road for a while and I prayed and I asked for forgiveness. And He did. And 8 years ago, I was an alcoholic. I'm 8 years sober this year. No, 9 years now this year. Hasn't touched a drop. I don't care for it. But my daughter, she loved her daddy so much. No matter how I would have acted or what I would have said, she stood her ground and just told me she loved me no matter what. And that, I look at her as a part of my saving grace. I mean, she's real special to me. She grew up quick. She took on the mama bear role, and she does great. And then, she'll hear me brag on her a lot, but I have 2 other beautiful children too. I have an older son, he's 11, and then I have my youngest, my 3-year-old son. So, a couple of months back, I found myself and my kids, my family, homeless. Had a trailer. Things went south with the landlord. I quit working for him for the fact that I needed to make money. And my lot rent was paid for by doing work for him. When I quit and started working a job, he was kind of upset and had me get out. So I had to load what I could in my vehicle and my kids, and we were homeless. We were jumping from hotel to hotel. I could barely feed them at the time. It affected my kids, their schooling. I noticed that their grades were falling. Had a friend actually at the truck stop having to sneak me in me and my kids, just so we had a place to kind of bathe. I was about at the point of giving up. And I think I would have if it wasn't for the fact of my children. Because every time I tried, I just felt like I was knocking back 3 steps if I took 1 step. And it was a bad point in my life. Well, long story short, I got in contact with one of my kids' teachers that informed me about the EACH program. I had no idea what it was. It was just going with the flow. I said, why not, try it at least, And I did. And I went to the open door and I applied for it with a lady there. And when it was all said and done, I had a house. They gave me a beautiful home, fully furnished. They take care of the lights. They take care of the rent. And they've really helped me to trust other people and to give like they gave to me. And me saying that, I went from being, everything was about $1. And when the Each program, when I seen the love that they had for me and my family, not even knowing us, I decided to try to share that love with someone else. So when people would come to me for fixing things and automotive work, I would do so, and not charge, because, pass it forward kind of thing. And if it wasn't for this house and this program, I don't know where I'd be right now. I would, I think I'd still definitely be lost. The grace of God and my children and Each, they've brought me back. And everything you see in the background, everything that I have right now is because of Each. I had nothing. I lost everything. And I'm very grateful that I'm part of this program.
Hello, I'm Chris Westmoreland, the lead pastor at Longs Chapel United Methodist Church here in Haywood County.
And I'm Paul Butler. I chair the board of directors of the Each Initiative.
And we just wanted to share briefly with you about a real epidemic in our community, and it's the fact that we have way too many, hundreds of homeless children and vulnerable families in our community. We're told that there are kids that are couch surfing. We're told there are kids that are living in cars overnight. They're spending nights in sleeping bags in friends' like laundry rooms. I mean, just a lot of challenges. And so we really believe that this is not something that we should just sit on the sidelines as the faith community, but we actually need to be building relationships with families that are vulnerable among us. And that call comes right from Jesus, as Jesus really invites and commands us to be involved with the broken and those who are hurting, and vulnerable families and homeless families in our community certainly fall into that category. And so as we do that, the Each Initiative, Ending Area Child Homelessness, we believe that we're called to address the concerns. Part of what we're inviting congregations to do is to secure a house, either by a lease or purchase a house or use a house that they already have. The Each Initiative has a case manager and some resources that come alongside and help work with a family that's in housing instability while the congregation is kind of providing that house for them temporarily. And also, the case manager has an opportunity to equip the congregation to be in a healthy partner in relationship.
Yeah, the case manager doesn't just help them be in relationship to the family, but helps them understand what this whole program is about, which is helping the Church of Jesus Christ be the Church of Jesus Christ.
Absolutely.
And so we think that people want to do good stuff. They want to address this issue that you just described, Chris, and they can do it if they just know how. And so part of the role of the Each Initiative is to say, this is how you can make a difference.
Absolutely. So we want to invite you. If you're a part of a congregation, talk to your pastor, talk to church leaders. We really think that we want to involve every church as a part of this partnership. It will not only bless vulnerable families in our community, but it will bless every person in every congregation that's a part, because we're blessed anytime that we're doing what Jesus tells us to do. Now, there's a lot of obstacles and a lot of challenges. Sometimes it takes some money and those kinds of things. It takes people resources. But the truth of the matter is, where there's a will, there's a way, and especially where there's God's will, God makes a way. And so we invite you to join us today.
And one thing that I really like is you were saying earlier, pastors will tell you, well, where do we get the money? I like to think of the fact that God can touch hearts. God's not bankrupt. And if we don't ask our congregations, aren't we depriving people of the opportunity for God to touch their heart?
Wow. Amen.